Hello and welcome back to Imperial Galactic Survival. My name is Spanj and today we're taking a look at our new home. A spanking new home that we have purchased for an alarming amount of gold from the server. Let me give you guys a tour, but first let me grab a couple of my pirate buddies and go through the grand tour of this place. Okay, gentlemen. So I do this like a proper tour guide. Hello and welcome to the Orion space station, yeah? I don't know why I'm German. Let's just go with it, yes? Let's go inside, up the very difficult steps. I may need to reduce the gravity generators.
Oh.
In this, feel free to use the jetpack in order to ascend the stairs. So, this is one of the main gantries from the landing pad that we were just on, and this takes us into our main promenade area. Please do try and keep up. In the main promenade area here, we have all the amenities any pirate could possibly need. A drinking fountain, also known as a bar. We have casino, vendors, supplies, and of course medical for patching up those war wounds. If you follow me, gentlemen, we'll now head towards the factory. Now, because this space station does feature all the mod cons, we have a fully functioning factory of which you can construct all the required parts and necessary components that you need for your pirating needs. As you can see, we have several constructors, much storage, and if you look down below, you'll see a couple of furnaces for smelting those hard-earned ores. Be careful, don't fall yourself down the ore chute there, otherwise you will burn alive. Let's head downstairs. Now obviously, many of the ores are radioactive, so when you're placing them in the furnaces here, you may want to decontaminate yourself in the decon chambers here. Just put your things in one of the personal lockers and head into the decontamination showers to wash off those nasty radiation. I'll learn to speak in a minute. This is going well, isn't it? There's nasty radiation rays. Contaminated clothing goes inside these bins here. Once you're done with decontamination, we'll go through here. Be careful. The designers weren't very clever and put a gravity generator here, which gives out radiation. So don't get too close, otherwise you'll have to go through decon again.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Here's one of our lower control areas. And if we head back upstairs, let's take a look at the control tower. Come now, keep up.
Gravity.
Yeah, I need to lower the gravity. Here's one of our control towers, which gives us views over the factory complex. Marvelous. There are doors on either end of the factory that lead out again to the landing pads, so if you're quickly transporting goods from your ship to the factory, you would use these doors. And the conveyor system on the roofs to speed up your transport of goods. Let's head back to the promenade. Now, hidden away in the promenade here, well, not so much hidden, you can see the core of the base, central to the bar. If the bar gets blown up, what's the point? You may as well lose the base, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
However, if we head down the hidden elevator here, underneath the core, another gravity generator, watch out. You might need to put your helmet on, you already have your helmet on, but along the walkway here, we have a full greenhouse ready for plantation.
Nice.
Obviously, conveniently situated, directly connected to the main kitchen area of the base, the bar. Marvelous. Moving on. Now we find ourselves here in the central spire of the base. Heading down, we'll head into our fuel and generator sections, but we don't need to see that. Let's head back up to the promenade. Mind your head on the core. We're going to head upstairs to the VIP lounge now. You might need jetpacks on for this due to the heavy gravity. You having trouble there, Luce?
I am.
Welcome, gentlemen, to the VIP lounge. We have girls and, you know, butlers and stuff. You can sit here and watch our enormous 65-inch TV.
Where do we pick up our VIP passes?
As members of the factions, you're automatically VIPs. We've got another kitchen through here for any of your cooking needs. Little gantry kitchen, and of course some nice private lounge for conducting shady businesses. Let's head up Let's head up the staff-only elevator. On the first floor here, up the elevator, we have some crew quarters either side, which you can make your own. Take your pick. There's another set of rooms on the next floor up, but these are unfinished at the moment, unfurnished. So again, if you'd rather make your own room, design your own space, you can. Heading up one more, we come to our command and control center. It'd be really good if I could fill this with some AI crew, actually. I think they look awesome in here. But again, this doesn't serve any purpose other than decorative. But if we go up one more, this is where I had all the signal logic built in before Elion screwed it all up, and I had to delete it all. So it's explained out there on the LCD screen. I had the different Defcon switches that would activate different elements of the base's defenses. The best one was that Defcon 3 closed all the blast shutters across the base. You saw some of the shutter doors on the windows. They're normally supposed to remain open until you're in Defcon 3, and then they all shut. We got one more. We've got our observation deck. Well, you'll notice what I said about the base looking like it had things bolted onto it. This is where you can see it the most. If this was still a civilian station, you wouldn't see all the truss blocks and extra armor plating on the outside of these windows. They're all added in for piloting purposes. Well, there we have it, gentlemen. Our new home. Customizable, livable, it's got everything we need, easily expandable. Too much gravity. I'll sort that out. And still, coming down the stairs is nice and quick. It's like sliding down the stairs. Brilliant. That's it.
I
There
like
you go.
it.
Well, the only other thing is there's the SV pads, which are off the other direction. But I mean, you can see them from the outside. I mean, Lucy, you parked your ship next to them, so. What do you guys think?
I like it.
I like it.
Happy with that? Our new home. Should be able to build on it fairly easily, expand from it. You've got enough space here to spawn in new ships, SVs, it's secure enough that we can hold a lot of our precious cargoes.
Are we allowed to spawn in new ships and stuff here?
No.
That's true, actually. You can't. Yeah, you can only do that on the home worlds.
Okay.
Of course. Okay, it's big enough
That's
to
what I
park new ships and stuff on. Okay, with the grand tour over, let me take you through the signal logic on this base. Well, actually, there is no signal logic at the moment. Unfortunately, I had to remove pretty much all the signal logic for whatever reason, because when I tried to spawn the base in, it was just throwing up an error. And what I noticed was in the control panel, half the devices were missing. And what I had to do is remove all the custom groups and regroup everything using the auto group feature here, which removed all the custom groups. I also had to remove all of the lever devices from the control room here. So I'm going to go back through the entire base and reset up all the signal logic here. So I can show you guys how it's done. But the first thing I need to do before I even start messing around with signal logic is to recreate all the custom groups. So it's pretty simple. Basically, I need to group the weapons into various groups. I mean, they're in a group. I could leave them in the group and just assign them to the relevant signal logics. As you can see here, they've got leftover signal logic here. So I just need to assign each switch into its, or name each switch its relevant signal logic, signal name, and then assign the weapons that I want to active with each Defcon level to that. But also the shutter door blocks. Where are they? Are they under ramps? I've got some under ramp. Some of them are ramps. Shutter doors, hangar shutter doors. Here we go. The thing is with the shutter doors, I know that not all of them should be tied to the Defcon 3 switch, so I'm going to need to go through and hit each one individually on the P menu and add it to the custom group. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, that was grueling. Right, this becomes infinitely apparent when you try and do this how clumsy the control panel actually is and how it hates you. So I've created a few custom groups here. I'm going to create even more to separate the cargo boxes and things like that into their relevant areas so it's easier to find things, but I'm going to do that later. For now, what I wanted to show you was I've created a Defcon group for each Defcon stage. So I'm using the American Defense Conditions System. So Defcon 5 is everything's fine, peacetime basically. Defcon 1 is brown trousers time, fire everything, nuke the crap out of everything moment. So I've added in the relevant weapons to each defense condition group. So Defcon 3 is the only one that's slightly different because that contains all the shutter doors, but otherwise all the way down to Defcon 5, which has got different stages of turret activation, just like it's described here on the LCD screens. So activate all defense conditions in order to have the station fully armed and operational. So before I do that, let me just quickly show you something up here in the observation deck. Actually, have I even put anything in the obs deck? I may not have, in all honesty. Bad example. Let me take you all the way down to the bowels of the station. Okay, so for example, here you can just about make out the blue force field there of some shutter doors, and you notice at the moment they're open. Okay, because we're in defense condition 5, everything's fine. We're not under attack, so our VIP guests here can enjoy some nice views out over the station, and you know the ship's parked here and stuff. So, so that's good. Let's see what happens when I turn the defense conditions on. Okay, so defense condition 4 activates the flak turret. So if we have a look in defense condition 4 at the moment, we should be able to see that flak turrets are off. Okay, in fact, yeah, turrets are in a state of so I still need to go through and configure all these turrets to the correct targeting positions, but we'll do that later as well. So if we flip the Defcon 4 switch here, we can go back in, and the flak turrets now appear to be on, so that's good. That's all working as expected. Defcon 3, now this is the tricky one. This one took ages. So Defcon 3, here what I did, create the Defcon 3 group and then move all the shutter doors and ramp blocks that I want to close into that group. So let's see, let me just check. So that's linked to Defcon 3 in the signal logic, and it's on a follow command, but it's inverted. Okay, so when the switch is activated, what would normally happen in the follow is that the shutter doors would retract, essentially open. But I wanted them to do the other way around. I want to activate the switch and the shutter doors close. So that's why I've got that little tick box there, which basically inverts that. So that's across all shutter doors. Now if I go back downstairs to the barrels once more, ooh, there it is, we can see our shutter doors here have closed all the way across the station. All the windows are now locked down. If we have a quick look outside, try not to injure myself, let's just flip the jetpack on so we can move around a bit quicker. All the shutter doors here, again, shut down. What I've also done, if I just squeeze past the Reaver's Fate there, is we've got ramp blocks here shielding the garden and more shutter doors, apart from here, which I was kind of unable to fit anything on these ones. I figured it was okay because it's on the inside of the base anyway, the inside part. So yeah, that's what Defcon 3 does. It basically raises or lowers the shutter doors, ramp blocks, shielding all the windows across the base, apart from a few where I just either wasn't important to do so or I couldn't do so. Put some shutter doors. I want to guard these soft spots, but there we have it. That's Defcon 3. Let's head back. Still so much texturing and painting to do on this station. It was never finished. I never finished it. I literally sort of rushed it into service, really. But there's a lot that still needs to be done to that this base. Head back up the elevator of destiny, past the CNC into our control bunker here. Right. So that's Defcon 3. Defcon 2. Let's have a look back in our control panel. Defcon 2 activates the rocket turrets on the base. So we look at devices, they're on. Interesting. Defcon 2 follow. Well, that's not right. Something's... So that's on Defcon 2 follow. Hello. Whoops. They're all on Defcon 2 follow. Stop it. That's Defcon 2. But Defcon 2 is not activated. Let's just make sure we've got the right lever here. Defcon 2. Okay, that's interesting. That's on follow, but the turret is active. What happens if we turn it on then? Does it deactivate them? No. Okay, what about if I turn it back off again? Does it deactivate them? Yes. Okay, maybe that was just a synchronization issue there. So the lever does actually appear to be working as I wanted it to. So rocket turrets are now on. That's set to signal name Defcon 2. Set the turret on off Defcon 2. Set it to follow. So that's all the rocket turret switched on now. Marvelous. And then finally Defcon 1 here. So that is in the signal logic called Defcon 1. And the artillery turrets are set to on off Defcon 1 follow. And they are also on, but maybe it's the same issue as the rocket turrets. They are now off. Good. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So there we go. Anyway, The station is now in full armed readiness. With all Defcons activated, all weapons are active, the shutter doors are closed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I can turn all of these back off again. All the shutter doors will now be opening again, leaving just the miniguns activated. In fact, I can turn that off, and even the miniguns will turn off. I'm going to leave that one on for now. So that's the defense conditions. Anyway, what else have I done? I've also created a power save mode, gravity control, and an O2 vent control. Now, the O2 vent control, I can't do because, let's just have a look. Where is it? Ventilators. So I've got the O2 vent, O2 control signal here in the lever, but if I go to the ventilators, I can't actually assign any signal control to them. What I wanted to do was be able to switch off all the oxygen in the base apart from what's in the garden. So I've separated the garden's ventilator along with the grow lights, the fridge that's in there as well. So, but I can't seem to do that, so that's completely redundant for now unless Elion add that back in. So yeah, let's ignore that for now. Gravity control, quite simply, turns the gravity generators off. They're all set to follow, which is nice. And power save is another really laborious one. I've left that in it outside of a group because it spans many different things. I painstakingly went through all 237 lights here and set them on the power save follow. So I can turn the lights off without actually affecting the grow lights in the garden. The grow lights device is still on, but if I go to lights, as we can see, they're off. Okay, so that's by setting every single individual light to follow the power save circuit. No inversion. The power save is disabled or green, then it's not on. If it's red, then power save is on. I know it's sort of upside down, but I couldn't be bothered to go through and tick that box on all the lights to make it make any sense. I'm quite happy to have an inverted switch. Anyway, what I'll also integrate into the power save mode is probably the constructors. So set them all to follow power save, like this. Ignore that red one, that's obviously a legacy from when I had signal logic before. So you set all the constructors and the furnaces to power save. I've also set the repair bay to power save. So I can leave obviously the grow lights and everything off of that circuit so that they remain active even when the base is otherwise shut down and sleeping. Yeah, other things I can attach to that. I don't know armor lockers do use any power. Apparently they do. They use 5 kilowatts. That's interesting. So yeah, I could turn them off as well. So it's basically power save is really easy. You just go through and set everything to follow that circuit, and then you can turn it off when you're not using it. Bathroom vanity, does that use any energy? No, it's fine. That would be hilarious. Repair station, power save. Scanners, power save. Power save. I can't believe they use any energy, do they? They do, you know, 1 kilowatt. It all counts towards. Really? Shower? Nah, they don't. Didn't think so. Sofas, tables, toilets, all good. So there we go. That's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm going to go. I can do the LCD screens as well. 88 LCD screens. My God. Yeah, I can hit them all up to the power save as well. And that way, when we log off, we can just quickly flip that switch. It shuts the base down apart from the garden, and you know, it will save lots and lots of power, which is good. But yeah, I'm going to go through all the cargo boxes here. That's going to take a little while because they're spread out across the base. So, but I want to create separate groups for each of the cargo boxes depending on what area they are. I want to name the cargo boxes or what they got in them as well, so it makes finding things very, very easy on our new base. But the bulk here of the signal logic is done. Obviously, apart from the O2 vent control, there's nothing I can really do about that. Hello. They seem to be under attack. That's bullshit. How can he find this place? How could he find this place? How would you find it? How would you find this place? It is in the middle of fucking nowhere.